Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Sidereal Midnight Plays Shadowrun Hong Kong. Last episode, we got back from delivering the message to Strangler Bao and bringing him back in line, and this is our new home inside of the Bolt Hole, a giant boat. Now, this episode, not gonna lie, probably mostly gonna be a looking around and shopping episode. But hopefully there will be some action at the end. Or who knows, maybe that Russian guy they were talking about in the boat is actually an enemy we have to fight. We'll find out. Oh, right. Left click to move. I've been playing a lot of Invisible Ink lately, and I'm so used to right click move. Okay, that's where I want to go to sleep. This, I'm assuming, is my treasure chest of infinite holding. Of which I don't want to put any of these things back. Oh, I also have my own bathroom. That's nice. And Duncan is here. He might be too tired to talk, but I want to talk to him all the same. Hey, Duncan, let's talk. Hey, Shen. I got some things I gotta take care of here. Let's talk later. Okay, fine. Fine, Duncan. Don't talk to me. I thought we were gonna have a sleepover tonight, like we haven't had since we were kids. But be that way. I'll talk to Gobbet instead. Hey, Seattle. I'm not really in the mood to hang out right now. Heavy stuff going down, you know? It'll be fine, but for the time being, I'd rather be alone. We'll talk later, though. Well, fine. I'm sure Isabel wants to talk to me. Also, I love how I think this entire area is her room, and that is her bed. Like, this costs probably at least tens of thousands of dollars. This probably cost $20. Alright, Isabel, let's talk. Come back later, Fist-sensei. I'm busy. Okay, fine. Fine. I'll go to sleep. I wanted to look around the boat, have a fun time, but fine, I'll sleep. I'll be in my bunk if you need me. I really hope nobody shares the top bed with... Yeah, I hope nobody shares this top bunk. Also, this life vest is destroyed. I really hope this thing does not sink. The cot in your cabin is neatly made, with crisp-looking sheets and an insulated plastic blanket. A fine layer of dust coats its surface. It's been a long time since anybody slept here. Okay. So, this wasn't somebody's room? I'm guessing this was Gutshot's room. That asshole. I hate him, like everybody does. You climb into the cot and worm your way under the sheets. They've been starched stiff as boards, but you've slept beneath worse. The lice and bedbugs that plagued your old prison cell are mercifully absent here, and the salt air is fresher than the rancid stink of the Redmond Barrens. It's like a 5-star hotel. The moment your head hits the pillow, exhaustion sets in. You can barely keep your eyes open. Sleep washes over you like a warm bath, and everything goes black. Please, no creepy dreams. Oh, darn it. That's literally the only thing I wanted. Okay. Hello. Hello, Urban Sprawl. You look real terrifying. Oh, no. Alright, giant horned monster is real mad. The dream is suffocating. The shifting tunnel of glass and steel, the towering silhouette of dark majesty, the shadowy doorway, and the teeth. They snap at your heels as you claw your way back to consciousness. You open your eyes to Duncan looming over you. He shakes your shoulder roughly. Shen! Come on, Shen, wake up! We gotta go talk to Kindly. The others have already left. Is Kindly just her first name now? Is that how this works? No, this isn't a take your anger out on Duncan moment. This is a shake your head. That was one rough night. He lets go of your shoulder, cocks a thumb at the hatch. We gotta go. I've been trying to wake you for a while now. You were thrashing around in your sleep. Glad you did. I was having one hell of a nightmare. He reaches up and rubs the back of his neck. Yeah, I didn't sleep well either. I had a bad dream last night, too. What about? He shrugs. I never remember my dreams all that well. It was probably motion sickness, not used to sleeping on a boat. I woke up a little while ago and hit the head. Then I came back and woke you. Let's just check in on him. You doing okay? I'll survive. His fingers hit a knot. He winces. But man, nothing's gone right since we stepped foot in this country. I'll tell you something, though, and this is after a full night's sleep. I don't believe Ray's dead. I hope you're right, but I gotta say it doesn't look good. I'm right. Think about it. That statement from the cops on the newscast could be fake. Ours was. And that surveillance footage? We never saw Raymond get shot. The camera was hit by stray gunfire. His passion is intense, but contained. Focused. Raymond's alive, Shen. I know it. Okay. I mean, I believe him for more storyline reasons. They wouldn't have made this guy be the only character in this game to have voice acting and then kill them off. That just makes no sense. So what do you want to do now? I don't know. Wait for a lead to turn up, I guess. He smiles. His teeth are white and straight and perfect. I'm just the muscle, remember? You're the brains of this outfit. Just like when we were kids. God, I feel like I'm 12 years old again, squatting on a stinking trawler. My partner's gone. Raymond's gone. Hell, I'm gone. I don't even have a name anymore. And now I can't even go to sleep and hide from it all without having a nightmare. His jaw tightens and his teeth grind so loud you can hear it. What else is going to be taken away from me? I feel like that's real sweet, but in a very saccharine sort of way. Yeah, I think this is the one. You still have that piercing you got in Tacoma? I had to drop that. Hygiene issues. Wu struggles to smile. He fails. What the hell did we fall into here, Shen? I mean, what's coming next? Yeah, I don't know, but whatever it is, we'll deal. He drops his hands to his hips and takes a couple of deep breaths. That's right, that's right. It's like Ray always said. Let's see. If you raise them to be somewhat, like, decent people, and especially, like, raised an orc to be a really calm sort of fellow, probably this one. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls, others build windmills. He chuckles, finally. Raven never said that. It was our housekeeper, Mrs. Maloney. Oh, I have to do this one. She had it tattooed on her back, right? How'd you see it? Don't mess with me, man. You know I've got anger management issues. He checks his watch. Gobbet and Isabel left... Gotta keep the voice. Gobbet and Isabel left a while ago. We should get going, too. See what that triad lady has to say. That was a good one. That was a cute one. I like it. Alright. Doesn't look like anything here has changed since I last saw it, so to the waterfront. And I'm not going to look through all the shops, because I'm assuming they won't even give me the time of day until Kindly Chang actually gives me something to do. So to the Mahjong Parlor. Away! Onward to adventure! And that weird door opening animation that sometimes freezes. Oh. Hello, person. You look not very good. Kindly's place reeks of stale cigar smoke and fresh urine. The clicking of mahjong tiles is strangely absent. In its place is a low murmur of laughter and an air of eager anticipation. All eyes are focused on the groaning figure kneeling bloody and bound at the feet of Kindly Chang. She beckons to him with her finger, and he struggles towards her, the loud rustling of the plastic tarp crackling under his knees as he moves. Oh, they sprung for the plastic tarp. Nice. Good asset management. His pants are wet with fear. An acetylene torch lies on the table at Chang's right hand. Kindly Chang ignores the scene. She behaves as if all is right in the world. How did you sleep, my little ones? Fine, thanks. What's with the guy on the floor? She indicates the kneeling man with an incline of her nose. Shitbird here is a plainclothes cop. He snuck into the area last night while you were sleeping, hoping to find you and kill you before his competition got to you first. My men found him outside the trawler you were sleeping on. They saw to it that your rest was undisturbed and that your location remained a mystery. She nods her head back towards the pillar of meat standing behind her. You can thank Mr. Bao for that. Okay, I wouldn't call that behind, but that's fine. I'll just nod. Bao inclines his head, 1/4 of an inch. She addresses the bloody man on his knees. Now, Shitbird, tell my friends here what you told me. I don't know anything, I swear. We just got the orders in last night. He pushes his head towards you and Wu from the floor, struggling to keep his balance. Somebody high up wants these two dead. The whole department is in on it. I don't know anything else. Someone from high up? The old woman lifts her foot, taps his chin with the toe of her shoe. How high? The cop looks up at her, looks around at the room filled with triad soldiers. One of them opens his coat and shows the cop something inside. He closes it slowly and winks. The cop drops his head to the chest. To his chest. All the way up. All the way up. It's someone on the council. Someone on the executive council wants these two dead? Chang spits on him with a sneer. Fuck your ancestors to the 18th generation. Give me the truth. The cop wears the spittle? That is a very odd metaphor. I believe there were some late nights writing this. Maybe a bit too much coffee. Anyway, he never lifts his head. It's the truth, madam. I swear it. Whoever it was labeled them as terrorists. We're to terminate them with extreme prejudice. Kindly Chang shuffles closer to the kneeling cop, reaching down and strokes his head with her hand. Then she slowly digs her fingers into scalp. Yeah, this was a late night writing session. She pulls back hard until his chin points high. The triad boss leans in close and searches his eyes with her own. That's all he's got. She lets go of his head and smooths his buzzed cut hair with her hand. For whatever reason, last night someone on the Executive Council of the Free Enterprise Zone ordered the Hong Kong police force to kill 2 nobodies from Seattle. I find that fascinating, don't you? Yes, but why do they need to label us international terrorists? She strokes the policeman's cheek with the back of her hand. Her rusty voice becomes sweet as she explains the ways of the world. Propriety, my darling. When the government has someone gunned down, they prefer to make it appear justified. The people feel safer when their murders feel like part of civilization. Aw, thank you, timely political commentary. I was hoping you'd be here. My, but you have definitely fallen into the deep end of the pool. Seattle isn't like Hong Kong. There, the megacorps control the government. Here, the corps are the government. The Exec Council is chosen by the Corporate Board of Governors. They're basically the legislative and executive branches of the Hong Kong government in one tiny package. 8 people call all the shots. Neat and efficient. Kylie Chang steps back from the cop and lights one of her thin black cigars. For the wage slaves and the civilian sheep, the corporations are a pantheon of gods who wield absolute power. She looks around the room, but not for us. The triad woman takes a long pull from her cigar and taps her ash on the kneeling cop's head. Who else knows about my guest's visit to Heoi, shitbird? No one, madam. I hadn't called it in yet. I wanted to kill them for myself. No one knows they're here. I swear it. She turns to her enforcer. Mr. Bao? Bao fiddles with the PDA in his meaty hands. He's telling the truth. No outgoing calls on his PDA. Very good. Thank you, Bao. She nods at the cop. Thank you for your honesty. In one smooth motion, Strangler Bao produces a silenced pistol, fires it once into the policeman's head, and replaces it in his jacket. His face never changes expression. Okay. I don't think he's going to be somebody who has been in prison for as long as he has is really going to be all that open about cops. I mean, more about him as a person. Okay, let me think. Yeah, I think this one. Looks like the triads can be just as efficient. Chen takes a drag on her cigar. Yes, my darling. She balances her cigar on her shot glass, picks up some mahjong tiles, and begins playing with them absently. She always needs to be fiddling with something, it seems like. It is clear our friend Raymond Black was up to something involving the walled city. Something having to do with prosperity. And this executive council member wanted Raymond dead for it. She stacks her tiles one by one. Click, clack. Now they want you dead for it too. Click. This plastic-faced man may show up on your door one day too. She knocks the pile over and it clatters to the table loudly. I have a proposal for you, my sweets. A smile lights up her dead black eyes. Work for me. With Nightshar and Gutshot dead, I find myself with 2 job openings. Fill them. I have need of deniable assets here. Players unaffiliated with the triads who can take care of some of the more unsavory business needs about town. You've proven yourself resourceful, and you have no existing connections here. That can be positive in this line of work. Shadowrunners. Wu grunts. His jaw tightens, but he stays quiet. In exchange, I will keep you safe from pests like this one. She nods at the body of the floor. Whew, this was one late night writing session, I will tell you that much. The pool of blood on the plastic wrap continues to widen. You'll have safe harbor here in my town and a steady source of income. She picks up a handful of tiles again. And while you dip your toe into the waters of corporate espionage, organized crime, and clandestine mercenary actions, I will employ my network to find the plastic-faced man and gather information about Raymond Black. Where he's been, who he's talked to, who stood to gain from his death, what this prosperity could be. You're putting out a lot of effort to help a pair of foreigners. Not foreigners, my sweet, valued business associates. I need to learn who killed one of my clients, and then ordered the cops to execute my team of Shadowrunners. Her voice drops and she becomes deadly serious. This is a brazen disregard of my power. Face dictates it must be confronted or I stand to lose everything. Let's see. How would the arrangement work? I find the right jobs for people with your talents. You do what our clients cannot do for themselves. I take a finder's fee and a small percentage of your earnings. You make a lot of new yen very quickly. It's all very civilized. She leans in. Work with me. Allow me to help you make money. Let my network work for you and help you find out what you've gotten yourselves into. Without my help, you won't last a day out there. You are completely out of your depth, I'm afraid. You need a partner. Kindly Cheng will be your partner. Man, this is a real Faustian bargain if I have ever seen it. Wu's hands go to his hips. He drops his head and shakes it a little, confused. I gotta wrap my brain around this, Shen. Things are moving too fast. There's a lot to process. Okay. Yeah. This one's just annoying. This one seems way too nostalgic for a time that was, by all that I've heard about it so far, awful. I think it's gotta be this one. Think about it, Duncan. This gives us freedom to find out what happened to Ray. I know, I get it. I just gotta reconcile this whole... He grips the back of his neck, squeezes hard, rips his hand away. Ah, fuck it. I'm not a cop anymore. That guy's dead. He nods, the decision made. I'm in. What about you? Okay. I think it's this one. I think Ray's still alive too. Let's run the shadows and figure out what happened to him. Raymond is alive. I'm sure of it. So I'll run the shadows as long as Auntie Chang keeps up her end of the bargain and helps us figure out what really happened to him. Then I'm gonna find my father. Then it's done. Heoi is now open to you. She gestures to her lieutenant, who raises finger to her ear and whispers into her sleeve. First order of business. Fist-sensei here has already chosen a street name. She turns her attention to Wu. But Duncan Wu don't exist anymore. You'll need one too. Wu sighs. Yeah, okay, I'll think of something. Gobbet rubs her cheek against her rats, a glint in her eye. I think we've already got you covered, Gunshow. She turns to Isabel. Fits, doesn't it? Indeed. I knew that was gonna stick. Oh, man. I would love to be the person telling stories about this guy, like, the legendary Gunshow. Greatest Shadowrunner the world's ever seen. Then again, I'd love to be telling stories about my character, too. But nah, Gunshow is nothing compared to Fist-sensei. That guy's a monster. The Stupid Name Squad. Together again. It has stuck. Gobbet, Isabel, we'll handle this the same way we did with all your previous work. She didn't say Nightjar. All the jobs I line up for you will be sent to your computer on the squat boat. She's pointing at you. Yeah, this one seems rather important. Why me? It's a simple process of elimination. She points to Little Decker. Isabel isn't the leader type. You got that right. She moves her finger to the orc girl. As for Gobbet, let's just say Gobbet doesn't have a head for business. Not my thing. Then she rests her finger on Wu. And then there's Gunshow. She wiggles it. The jury's out on Mr. Gunshow. Meaning? Her response is direct, straightforward. Meaning there's a lot going on within that head of yours. Missed a space there. Coffee is a hell of a drug. Within that head of yours right now, and I'm not sure I can trust you. Let's see. So I'm in charge because I'm the best of the worst? Oh, my sweet, don't put it that way. She opens her arms. You're the most equipped for the role. She's making sense. You're the right person for this, Shen. Okay. You know it has to be this. It has to be. To go with this, like, cliche TV show feel this entire game has that I love so much, it has to be this. Shen Yang doesn't exist anymore. Call me Fist-sensei. Wu shakes his head, eyebrows raised. Gonna be weird calling you Fist-sensei again. Haven't called you that since we were kids. Man, I was the most pretentious kid, apparently. Gobet looks from Isabel to Wu to you. I guess this is our new crew. The rat on her shoulder scurries to the top of her head for a better view. Welcome to the shadows, Fist-sensei. Alright, there I am. Fist-sensei is now officially a Shadowrunner. And I have a little pip down here, which I think means I can level the rest of the party. Nope. I'm not sure what this means. Oh, hold on. Yep, that's exactly what it means. I can level the rest of the party. So, the party levels up a lot differently from the main character. They have access to 2 skills at each level, and you choose which skills they have access to. Now, I'm not going to look at the skills for the party members until I have to, so I'm just going to look at them now. So she gets a plus to body, quickness, spirit summoning, and spirit control, and I can give her augment ability spirit control. Spirits will never break away in the first 2 rounds after summoning them, or augment skill ranged combat. Gobet special spends some more time at the firing range, using her raised combat skills and SMG specialization by 1. I would have loved to be proofreader on this project. I feel like they could have used me. And honestly, Isabel I think is fine for melee damage. I'd rather have Gobet do more magic damage. Especially because thus far, I think she's the only one in the party that does. So I will get Spiritualist. I'm guessing confirm all means I can level all of them at once. So Isabel's grenade launcher can now fire remote mines. She just gains ranged combat, really? Can now fire remote mines, which can be triggered to detonate at will. I don't think I need that. So what is this? Gain program Tar Blaster. Isabel gains the Tar Blaster 1.0 program, an upgraded version of Blaster that also sticks enemies in place for 1 round. Yeah, I'm going to up her Matrix abilities, because I'm definitely not going into the Matrix anytime in this game. Okay, and then Duncan gets body, ranged combat, dodge, rifle, and unarmed. And he gets lethal force. Duncan gains an assault rifle ability that fires a single shot of incendiary ammo. Does an additional 2 damage and pierces up to 2 armor. Costs 1 AP and cooldown 2. Or Duncan gains a rifle ability that does 2 AP damage and imbalances targets, making them easier to hit on subsequent attacks. This ability cannot do critical damage. So I can either stun somebody, or I can shoot them really, really hard. I don't think the rest of the party has any, like, crowd control abilities, so I'm going to get one on him. And I will confirm all of that. Yep. Alright, so they're leveled now. Let me see how we're doing on time. Okay. So I'm gonna go shopping, and then we'll probably call it an episode. Because I believe the stores are now open to me. Kindly regards you coldly and lifts one hand in a dismissive wave. In a dismissive wave. Good pronunciation. As much as I love your company, I have business to attend to. Clear the hell out of here and go get settled in. Alright, time to go shopping! Crew advancement available. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the lower right hand corner of the screen will open crew advancement menu, blah 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 blah. I already explained that, and we already did that. Alright, that man is still trapped in a Sisyphusian hell where he just sweeps that one spot over and over again and it never gets clean. Who is that? Reliable Matthew. Oh, he looks super reliable. Let's go talk to him. Smooth jazz drifts from cheap speakers on his barge. A wide array of worn-down drones litter the battered deck. Most are utility and domestic types, but a few, cordoned off from the others, are low-end security models. The salesman smiles indulgently at you, a tall, lanky human of clear Cantonese ancestry. He's wearing a cheap suit and limply clutching a smelly cigarillo. He adjusts his tie with an exaggerated nonchalance. Languid. Ostentatious. Like an American casino promoter. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome to our little floating heaven. You've got a discerning look about you. What brings you to Reliable Matthew's Robot Bazaar? He taps Ash over a bulky cleaning drone beside him, not waiting for an answer. He continues. Perhaps you're looking for a hexacopter as a guide to Hong Kong, or a little handheld tarantular beauty to brew your tea. Are you calling me beautiful? You know it, beautiful. I hope I don't offend. I just can't help it. To me, everybody's beautiful, baby. Right back at you, beautiful. Aw, man after my own heart. You're Reliable Matthew? That's right. Reliable Matthew Shun at your service. He extends his hand to shake. The odors of peach-scented moisturizer and stale tobacco smoke wash over you. How about it? Okay, shake his hand. Pleasure to meet you, Reliable Matthew. Always, always. Welcome to our little patch of peace on the river. I think you'll really love Heoi. It's just a fantastic place. Well, now that we're acquainted, maybe I can brighten up today a bit. What's on your robot list, friend? I'm interested in your combat models. Some heavily candlelights in the corner of the yard. He turns back to you with a nervous smile. Funny you should ask. I've just gotten a Dobrin that I'm selling at an incredible bargain price. Shall we take a look? Let's look at the security drones. All of them. Okay, so this is what I would do if I was a rigger. I could get any of these. So what is this? So this is just armor. And doesn't look like anything else here that I want. I might get this later, but I want to go talk to the man who I am kindred spirits with, bonded at the soul, before I get too wrapped up in other business. I believe he's over here. I mean, this man and I are twins. We are united by the fact that we both share the same name. There he is, good old Spider Shen. Let's talk. Despite the wind and rain pelting Heoi, the proprietor of the stall, a monk, judging by their outfit, is unconcerned. The monk's expression is indifferent, though hardly placid or serene. Muscles show as tightly as wound metal bands beneath the skin, ready to snap in any direction without warning. What's more, the monk's robes are anything but ordinary. Certainly, silk makes up the base outfit, but it's paired with high-impact ballistic armor, heavy-duty boots, and a bandolier of throwing knives. The table in front of you is arrayed with a wide variety of melee weapons, charms, jade pendants, and other mystical accoutrements. Beneath an awning in the rear are rows upon rows of cages, each housing some variety of exotic reptile or insect. These in turn are flanked by jars and boxes of Chinese herbs, incense, powders, and inks. The monk spares you only the shortest of glances as you approach. I am Monk Shen, Most people in Heoi call me Spider Shen on account of the spiders back there. You are not local, not by a long shot. What tipped you off? My soul brother? Shen smirks crookedly, 2 teeth peeking out from between thin lips. Body language. You were not afraid to look me in the eye, for one. For another, your clothes. Not in fashion here in Hong Kong. Swords, knives, clubs, I sell them all. I make most of these, but if I can't, I've got friends who can. If you need incense or salves or medication, I make and sell those too, and if your joints ache, I can give you acupuncture. Shen places both palms on the table, leaning over it towards you with a wicked grin. So what can I show you? Let me see. You sell the snakes and spiders too? Shen shakes a finger at you, eyes narrowed. No, they are mine. I can sell you the things I craft with my hands, or the things I can do, but the medicines and poisons I make are my secret. You want those, you apprentice to me. In 5 years, maybe I show you how to make a poultice, eh? They're that secret? Of course they're secrets. They are what set me apart from the rest of the street dealers in Heoi. You want cram or bliss, any 2-bit triad punk can make that for you. But I can realign your ki, set your yin and yang in balance, or set somebody else's out of balance with a few drops. To master my skills, you need to learn for years. It's not just following a formula. You want to learn? You need patience. You try to learn without patience, all you do is ape the masters. Shen snaps 2 fingers and points at the cages. You have to understand them to truly learn my art. Otherwise, you never become a master. Might as well get a skill soft. You're a monk and a weapons dealer? Shen slowly raises an eyebrow, arms folded. Yeah. Where else would the ancient masters have gotten their legendary swords and spears? Down at the mall? I was at Wudang Mountain for 15 years before coming back to Hong Kong. I've been practicing Xing Yi Quan my entire life. That's how I learned the herbs, as well as the forms. It just so happens I'm good in a forge, too. That's why what you buy here is better than most other people's. So why become a weapons dealer out here? I was a runaway, a street orphan in Aberdeen. One day, an old man who called himself Woe offered to take me in. Let me make something of myself, as long as I worked hard. Nothing in this life is free, friend. Not even Grandfather Woe's help. So I work for him now. Sounds like he was part of the triad. Shen's eyes roll at this. Obviously, you think I'm in Kindly's little haven for no reason. She and Grandfather Woe are on good terms. I don't get in her way, I pay a cut to her, and everybody is happy. Even Woe, because I solve problems for him. Shen raises a balled fist, which suddenly bursts into blue flame. After a moment, it gutters and goes out. Remember that. If anyone ever gives you something for free, in Heoi, you pay it back with money or blood, but you pay it back regardless. What's Xing Yi Quan? Shen strikes a sudden pose, body low, one fist against a hip while the other is extended in open palm. The 5-element fist style. Water grows wood, which burns to become fire. Fire creates ashen earth, which condenses into metal, etc. The forms cycle the 5 elements, and opposing elements block each other. A water fist will break a wooden defense, but a water block will extinguish fire. Should one use a water interception on a metal fist, however, water will be smashed apart. Direct, simple, powerful. Not as elegant as Baji Quan or Tai Chi, but much more powerful. Shen pulls a tarp away from a nearby lump. The object beneath the tarp is revealed as the door to an Ares City Master armored personnel carrier. It's been caved inward by a massive amount of force, and in the dead center of the door is an indentation into which Shen's fist would fit perfectly. Power comes from focus, and focus comes from practice and meditation. Xing Yi Quan produces more power than most other forms of Kung Fu, and applies it in a highly focused way. Why are weapons special? Because I take greater care with them, and I've studied the ancient texts. Anyone can make an excellent carbide steel blade, but I can make the carbide blade burst into flames. I can make it sing with joy in combat. Anyone can make steel. Not anyone can awake its soul. Can I see one of the blades you've awoken? Shen waves a hand at you dismissively. No, of course not. Swords like that has to be custom ordered. Only when someone cancels an order do I have one just laying around. And believe me, they get snatched up quick. I get the picture. Let's talk about something else. Okay, what do you want to know? Let me look at your wares. Alright, do you have any armor? Alright. So they're all just armor 3 things. I will take the street monk outfit. For Fist-sensei. Oh, and he does sell key casting. That is exactly what I was hoping. And he sells me all the things I can get right now. So let's see. Mana Fist, a powerful magical punch that pierces up to 4 armor. Shares a cooldown with other Mana Fist spells. Nerve Strike, an attack that does low damage but slows the target and reduces their aim. And Magic Resistance. The Adept gains a medium cover bonus to magic spells. Ooh, that's nice. I'm gonna get all of that. Literally all of it. This is the man I want to outfit Fist-sensei. Unfortunately, he doesn't sell that many good weapons right now, but I'm sure he will. And this is an unarmed weapon. Alright. Cause minor bleeding to target on impact with damage of your strength +1. May do AP damage on critical hits. Okay, so there is a reason to amp strength. I will confirm that. And I believe, if I remember correctly, this should change my character's model. Slightly. Ooh, and I have enough spell slots for all of these. And I will confirm that. That's all for now. Let me zoom in on my character. Yep, it did change the model. It gave him new clothing. I like it. And I'm going to spend this karma to test something. Just because I want to see how the shopping system works in this game. I will get 1 more point in key casting. Oh wait, no. It looks like they're restricted. So I've got the first 3 levels of key casting. I don't need to get level 5 yet because I can't afford it. I can't afford Roundhouse Kick yet, so I won't get that either. I think for the moment I'm still going to save my karma. So that's the one I really wanted to see. But let's do a little more looking about. Oh, I can go into Club 88 now. I'll probably end up doing that next episode, but for now I want to see what Maximum Law sells. Let's talk. Overhead, a gigantic hollow sign shines like a searchlight, screaming its message through the dim light. It hums and flickers, sputtering like an old engine. Fierce electrical crackles sporadically burst out of the sign's emitter, stabbing your eyes and filling your ears with static. Under the baleful glare of the sign, the rusty mini-barge's deck is stacked with electronics. Dilapidated stereos share space with crisply boxed servers. Ranks of disks and memory chips fill display cases, padlocked under plexiglass. A short human in his late 20s stands in the middle, hands on his hips, talking loudly into the air. Bulky virtual reality goggles cover his eyes. A data jack cable runs from his temple down his stained t-shirt to a belt load of clearly home-built computer hardware. No, I'm telling you. His voice is shrill, clipped. Nobody uses KM3s. Like, nobody. They're shit. I don't care what Deng says. If Xiao's ASRP uses KM3s, they're stupid. Hey, flesh is rolling up. I gotta go. He turns to face you, goggles blank and enigmatic, blinking with tiny lights and wrapped in duct tape. He points at your PDA. I ripped that PDA. You work for Kindly. His lips work impatiently. Yo, what do you want? You provide this PDA? Tell me about it. It was a Fuji Azura Star 3. They used a Scarab chip, which is good, but the motherboard is wet noodles and sprouts. I pulled out the trackers and installed encryption. Now it runs like the Wampoa virtual network. The cores and cops can't track it. Can't track it. Okay, nice work. He shrugs dismissively. It's what we do. This is Law's Technology Palace, satellite territory of Wampoa. You step on the boat, you're in a sovereign state. I represent Wampoa here. I'm Maximum Law. He draws himself up proudly, setting his hands on his hips. The Maximum Law, yo. You got a tech problem? Boom, I solve it. You need software? Boom, done. But don't waste my time. So you got any business with Wampoa right now? If not, keep moving. Item SimSense chip. Found this while poking around the walled city. Worth anything? He scans the chip's casing with a handheld optical reader. Yo, that shit is banned. Lifted off some Yellow Lotus? They traffic this stuff. Delimited sim chips, full sensory experiences. You looking for a buyer? I can make it happen. How's 120 new yen sound? Sure, take it. Hope it finds a good home. Well, yeah, I'll sample it first. But these cowhots can send you for a trip. Don't worry, I can handle my sims. That's an amazingly ostentatious holosign you've got. Yo! Maximum Law looks up at the gigantic blue-white letters with deep satisfaction. It's pretty boss. That must cost you a small fortune in electricity. Whatever, I'm not paying for it. Half a Heoi gets its juice from a pirate tap on a big Mitsuhama DC cable under the river. Mitsuhama's like, his voice winds up into a mocking whine. Oh, let's run 2 million volts from the cold fusion plant to the island under the river. Those slum monkeys can't tap an underwater cable. Idiots. You know who built the tap that pulls the electricity off that cable? Wampoa. You know whose barge holds the transformer? Mine. Maximum Law thrusts his fist high into the air in silent victory. Cheap power for all and a whole lot extra for me. Behold the lighthouse of boom! Let's see. Why are you wearing VR goggles? It's not VR, it's augmented reality. We're pioneering it. Little cameras, matrix overlay. I can support a 3-dimensional HUD and sub-windows with live multiple feeds. I've got a command shell open right now. Network of 5 guys. Wave of the future. Darn. Wish I could decking that. Okay. Sounds interesting. It is, Law says with supreme confidence, a statement of perfect fact. Looks like you've got some dangerously exposed wires over there. Yo, what are you, my mother? Law regards you with skeptical disgust. Those wires are fine where they are, high and dry. They're only a problem for someone who does something stupid. I'm running a high bandwidth tech operation. Do I look like I have time to take copper and sip tea? No, I don't. Law wraps his knuckles fiercely on a clear-topped case full of buses, cables, and cable harnesses. These are the only wires you need to think about. And this guy sells decking supplies. See you later. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so I found the decking guy, I found the drone guy, I found the key guy. So let's see. I think there was somebody back over this way somewhere. Let's run down here. Man, he runs fast. Body 4 is not a joke. Yeah, so this is the drone guy for riggers. If I were to guess, this is the drug guy. As you approach the small landing, you see 3 men, 2 elders and a younger man, hunched over a go board. The juxtaposition of 2 white-haired, white-bearded men and the black-haired man is almost comical. Together the 3 resemble the small black and white stones of their game. Despite the variety of ambient distractors, the 3 men remain acutely focused on the game. One of the elders, a round-faced man with a beatific smile, carefully picks up a black stone and places it on the board. His opponent snorts and a small smile flashes across his long face. Almost carelessly, he snatches a white stone and deposits it on the board. The smiling man groans, and the long-faced one proceeds to collect several black pieces off the board. Ah, you got me there, Gin. He laughs pleasantly. He laughs a pleasant full sound. As it trails off, he spots you watching the game. A broad smile brightens his cheeks. Why, hello there, young man. Something you need? The long-faced man gives you a cursory look and continues to collect black stones. Just a gawker, Shu. It's your turn. The name's Fist-sensei. Got a second to answer a question or two? Shu nods. I could use a short break. How about you, Gin? Gin sighs, shoulders slumping forward. After a moment of scowling, he reluctantly speaks. Fine. A short break. The two elders turn towards the younger man. He looks to be in his early 30s, but it's difficult to tell. The skin on his face is smooth and supple, with only the suggestions of creases at the eye, mouth, and forehead. But small gestures, a blink, a flare of his nostrils, briefly reveal the lines of his face. The man's eyes rise from the go board and study the elders. He nods. I've been hearing about strange dreams here in Heoi. Have you had any nightmares recently? The three men exchange looks. Shu turns to you. What a coincidence! Wasn't but an hour ago that we were all discussing that very thing. We've been having bad dreams. Every one of us. I've had them myself. We should compare notes. What did you dream about? Is that right? Yin leans in, stares at you. Can't say I'm comfortable with giving a stranger details about my dreams. Shu waves his hand dismissively again. Don't mind him. He's always been a poor sport. But he raises a good point. Some of our dreams contain information best left private, just as yours do, I'm sure. Having just met, how can we be sure that you'll respect our personal information? I'll tell you. The younger man's voice cuts through the din like a razor, and the elders fall silent. He turns to you. He locks his eyes, dark orbs that burn with piercing scrutiny onto yours. He nods and returns his gaze to the go board. I believe you're trustworthy. Please, Fist-sensei, make yourself comfortable. I'll share my dream with you. Whenever you're ready. He exhales slowly, then begins to speak. I dreamed of a long, dingy hall. When faced with such a thing, one generally walks its length. So I lifted my right foot and placed it in front of me. But upon taking that first step, I found myself instead drawn down an alleyway to my left. It wasn't there before, this alley. It appeared only as began to walk. Coffee-filled days, coffee-filled days. As I moved down the alley, I found myself surrounded by friends and loved ones. They all stood there, silently watching me with smiles on their faces. And as I passed by, each one of them, they fell to the ground in my wake, dropping like puppets with severed strings. Somehow I knew that if I followed this road to the end, I could have everything I've ever dreamed of. But I woke before I could reach it. He folds his hands in his lap. There's a moment of silence before Shu speaks up, the rosiness in his cheeks having drained away. I too saw the long hall. My own experience was different, however. The hall was far off in the distance, and I was looking down on it from a strange angle, as though I were perched on a wall high above. He pauses and looks at you. You know, young man, Fist-sensei, you look very much like the person I saw walking that hall. He moved steadily down the path, walking at an even pace, and just behind him a great and terrible shadow followed. Of course, I didn't have the best view up there on that wall, or wherever it was. It could have been anyone. Perhaps this old mind of mine is seeing your face now and misremembering the dream. Alright, Gin, go ahead. Gin broods in the corner, arms crossed and jaws set. I've changed my mind. I don't want to share my dream. Nonsense. Master Lau and I have both told him our dreams, and now it's your turn. Gin sticks out his lower lip. No. I don't want to force you to do anything. He holds his palm toward you and looks at Shu. See? Straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have to. Gin. Lau's voice is firm but soft. This is important. Gin's mouth opens and closes like a gaping fish. But as he looks at Lau, his body relaxes and a sadness seems to take hold of his features. Alright. But don't you go repeating any of this, you hear me? He takes in a deep breath and slowly releases it, folds his hand in his lap. My dream began as a nightmare. I dreamed of the failures and mistakes that I've made throughout my life. The people I've let down, the competitors I've crushed, the wife who died in hospice without me. I dreamed of the family that I abandoned. A change comes over him. His eyes brighten and he continues energetically. But then, I dreamed of the walled city. I stood before it and its door opened to me. And when I passed inside, all of my guilt fell away. It was as though the city had absolved me, had washed away my guilt. I remember feeling happy. As his remembrance ends, so does his lightened mood. His face shrinks into a pout and he stares grumpily at the ground. There, I did it. You happy? Lao nods slowly. Thank you, Gan. You have my thanks, too. Yeah. Now can we change the subject? My ulcer's acting up. I'm guessing you've been around these parts longer than I have. Is this sort of thing normal? If it were normal, we wouldn't be held around discussing them in whispers now, would we? Enough of that, Gin. Fist-sensei here asked in earnest for our advice. He deserves a proper response. Please forgive our friend. Bitter years have left him suspicious of others. The answer to your question is no. Upsetting dreams have never been uncommon in Heoi. But these recent visitations have been different. They've been darker, more vivid, stronger than normal dreams. Last night, I felt consumed by the sense that something was coming. While my friends here felt a sense of relief and excitement as their dreams ended, I felt as though I was sitting on the precipice of some vast, terrible chasm with the void yawning beneath my feet. Suddenly his cheeks flush. He blinks twice and looks away. But perhaps these are just the ramblings of an old man. Please forgive me. He scratches his nose, embarrassed. You speak wisely, Shu. It is foolish to embrace a thing that you do not understand. What Gin and I saw in our dreams is alluring, but so is the light to a moth. Your instincts are still strong and sharp, my old friend. It is wise of you to trust them. Shu bows deeply, his eyes to the ground. Thank you. I can only hope these dreams do lead to something beautiful. There's already enough deception in this world. Gin groans loudly. Can we get back to the game now? I don't want to keep you. Of course. Stop by again sometime soon, Fist-sensei. Your company has been refreshing. Thanks. Good luck with your game. I appreciate it, young man. We'll be seeing you. Okay, so Lao, I'm assuming, is a lot older than he appears. Hello. Parlor of the 5 Phases. Okay, it seems we're running pretty long, so what I'm going to do is say we're going to look at Club 88, the Parlor of 5 Phases here, which I'm assuming is our actual drug den. And, is there anything else I'm forgetting? I don't believe so. We'll look at those 2 things, and then we'll go look at Shadowrunning missions that we can do in the next episode. So, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and a comment. It would be greatly appreciated. And I will see you next time.